Lenoir-Rhyne, a thorn in your side last December. They account for your only December loss in the last 2 seasons. LR comes in 4-2 and 3-1. Topsy-turvy sack this season, a victory over Queens, but also have a loss to Newberry, and playing well without Denzel Dillingham, who exited the program. Yeah. What stands out to you about the Bears?
The very first thing that's scary about those guys is the fact they have 8 seniors. You put that many seniors on a roster, those guys have got purpose. This is their last run. They're not gonna lay down, go away easy. You tie that to the fact that John Lentz, who's just, he is the South Atlantic Conference on so many levels, and has been here and has had ridiculous success, and is just proven. So you take veteran players, veteran coaching staff, and just a consistent scheme. It's a tough deal. I've talked to a couple of the players today about what's the best plan of attack, because I've seen good teams like the Andersons and the Queens try to just go toe to toe with them, and that's tough. You see a team like Elise McCray, who we beat here last week. Elise McCray goes in there and puts the pressure on him and makes it a running gun match, and LR couldn't keep up in that kind of deal. So, we know it's gonna be a tough game, but I've got confidence in our team. I think we're improving. I think our guys are growing stronger as a unit, and I think our scheme is solid. I really look forward to Saturday and seeing how we're going to respond.
I misspoke. The loss is not to Newberry. LR hasn't played Newberry yet. Loss is a road loss to Wingate, 73-59. This is still a club that has a very potent scorer in R.J. McClure. Mm-hmm. He's number 2 in the league with more than 21 a game. What's he done to elevate his play in the absence of a proven guy in Denzel Dillingham?
Well, first of all, it's a testament to his teammates. In the tape I've seen, they really do a good job looking for him. It's sort of like our guys. Our guys, they know that Antoine Davis, Ish Sanders need touches, and our guys look for them. Well, Lenoir-Rhyne's the same kind of deal, that they know that McClure needs to get looks. And, he's super confident, obviously, as a senior, and he knows it's sort of his team, his time to do his part. But the part where he's really sort of made the biggest jump is he gets the line, he gets the free throw line a ridiculous number of times. And to be a 5'9", 5'10" guard that's by reputation has been more of a catch-3 guy, he attacks the paint and gets to the rim and initiates contact. And he's shooting 95-6% from the free throw line.
He's 43 of 45.
Yeah, it's points. It's just he put points on the board, and so I think he's really quite possibly the most improved and maybe undervalued player in our league at this point.
Yeah, a third of his points have come from the line, and you mentioned it. I do not remember him driving at all in the 2 games that I saw between you two last season. Again, I missed the game in Hickory, but both the home games in the conference tournament and in the regular season, I remember him as a pull-up 3 guy.
He's he's got a deceptive first step, and he's just sort of got a tough little bulldog kind of approach, and those he's really found himself in a nice little niche this last year.
How much of that is him taking advantage of the new emphasis on the rules to call hand checks and to have more focus on the block inside?
Right. He's very clever. As we know from last season, there may not be a guy in our league that's more crafty about getting the call or creating situations where he can take advantage of opportunities. I'm trying to say this as politically correct as I can, but he's just really clever and crafty.
He's good at drawing fouls.
He's good at drawing fouls on both sides of the ball, and the credit goes to him. We all wish we had a guy like that. The LR's got one, and so we've got to be aware of him on both sides of the ball because, I mean, yeah, he's a good defender. He contains the ball. If you try to get too physical, he can take the charge. He's got really deceptively quick hands and strong hands to rip balls. And, of course, offensively, he goes in there. He can sort of get in the paint and initiate contact. So, and you set all that with a three because he can shoot the three. So he's sort of got he's a pretty complete player.
Outside of him, you've got Matt Coons, who's averaging 10.2 a game and 7 rebounds. Again, you mentioned it in the earlier segment against Catawba. You do a fine job of shutting down the primary guy. How do you make certain that Coons doesn't erupt and go for double his season average?
Well, you know, he's played a lot of basketball there, and again, another one of those seniors. He's tough because at 6'8", 220, you know, he moves well. He can shoot the 15, 16, 17-foot face-up shot. When he gets that opportunity, he gets rid of it quick. He's not like a lot of big guys will catch it and they'll hesitate. He plays more with confidence like a perimeter player would, so he just catches it and fires. But then he can also, you know, post you up some and score angle shots. He's on the boards. He moves. He runs. And just, you know, he's a senior, so he's very hungry to make this last go around a special one. So he's tough, man. I mean, again, I think that they are a very good, solid South Atlantic Conference team, and I think they're gonna, as they always do, they're gonna win more they lose, and you know, they're gonna give everybody fits when they play them.
1 point win against Anderson, a 2 overtime victory at Queens, and you bring up the seniors. You've got 8 guys on this team who average 10 minutes or more. Is there anything that you can do to disrupt that sort of tight rotation that is familiar with playing with others on the court?
That's not the approach we take. They can play, you know, 10, 12, 13. You know, we're going to do what we usually do, and that's play 8, 9 guys. And then if, you know, you never know what can happen, foul, injury, whatever, you got other guys that are prepared to step in and take up the slack. But we're going to stay with our 8, 9 rotation. And at the end of the day, we'll just do what we do. You know, there's no secrets. These coaches spend a lot of time preparing for one another. We'll do our press package. We'll do our half court zone and stunt package, and then we'll try to spread them out and cut them up with our half court motion, and let our go-to guys get touches and shots. And that's the game plan. It'll never change this season. So the cat's out of the bag.
I look forward to you running man exclusively in a game somewhere down the road.
If you'd have told me after my first stint as a head coach that we would have completely turned the percentages around, because at the other school we were like 98% man, 2% zone, and here we're basically 99.999% zone and -1% man. I would have never dreamed that, and yet it's happened.
I think you've gone man maybe 5 possessions since I've been here.
I'll go along with that.
Maybe.
I'll go along with it.
One more touch on LR, and then we'll bring in the players for this week, Jared Johnson and Josh Rogers. But Jarvis Perry doing a fine job distributing the ball, averaging 5 assists, 5 rebounds a game. What makes his game tick?
Well, he knows his role, first of all. He by reputation, he's not really known as a shooter. Of course, last year we played them, and he shot the ball very well against us. But he knows his role. He's got confidence in his teammates. He gets the ball to guys in the areas where they can make shots. And there's something to be said for that. I mean, he's again a senior, surprisingly, and has a lot of experience. And you know, I've looked at this team a lot in the last 48 hours, and you know, I think McClure is probably their emotional leader, but I'm not so sure that Perry is not like the engine of this car when it gets right down to it. I just think he's their second. He's their point guard. He also is second on the team in offensive rebounds. He leads them in assists. He doesn't take he's not hunting shots. You know what I'm saying? He knows his role, and I just sense that he brings a calming kind of presence to him. So, you know, I got a lot of respect for the guy. I really do. I like his game, and we know it'll be it'll be a challenge. I say that, and yet I like our point guard too. So they're both guys up in the Northeast, both sort of more power play than maybe speed and finesse, and so it's there may be some bleeding between the two of them Saturday.